Hello and welcome to another Friday Musing. This week I wanted to share with you the wisdom about our perceptions, about what they do to us. Now, we judge all the time. We judge situations, people, events, experiences, weather. We perceive a situation, a person, so on, as being good or bad, nice or horrid, interesting or dull. We're constantly creating a perception, a judgment. And, we don't perceive it as a problem, but it can really and truly influence our lives to a huge, huge degree. And it's really simple. Our perceptions of who we are, what we can do, can actually create a cage in which we shut ourselves. So depending on how we perceive the world, it can either limit or it can enhance our life. And sadly, most of us perceive the world as being a very negative place and perceive ourselves as being limited, unworthy, and so on. So let's have a look. We think, we don't do this. But just imagine for a moment, how do you perceive yourself? When you look in the mirror, what do you see? Do you see someone beautiful? Or do you see not beauty? Do you see someone fat, thin, imperfect, perfect, old, young? We're constantly judging that person that we see. And how you perceive yourself will then go on and influence your life. It'll influence the relationships that you have, perhaps the kind of job that you do, the way you walk, what you wear, how you carry yourself. Our self-perceptions will influence every aspect of our life. Everything is based on the way we perceive our own mind, body, and spirit. And if we constantly see ourselves as being unworthy, as being powerless and weak, you can imagine this cage around us just gets smaller and smaller. The cage of our possibilities. It also applies to the things that we create. What is your perception of anything that you've made in life? How harshly do you judge your work? Perhaps some artwork, a report that you wrote. I don't know, do you sing? Do you play a musical instrument? What is your perception of what you can do in life? Generally, it's a negative perception. And this can lead us to hiding our gifts, to keeping them just for us. We become too embarrassed. But these are divine, universal gifts that we have arrived here with, to share with the world, to help the world. I know what it's like. When I first started in healing, I didn't know how to perceive myself. I didn't know whether I was any good or not. But my ego led me to perceiving myself as being a terrible healer. Amongst all of them, I was at the bottom. And clients would tell me, oh, you're very good at what you do. I feel better. But my perception of myself overrode anything that they would say to me, overrode any results that I was seeing. So the result was I didn't step out. I didn't help the people that I could have done because I kept myself small through my own limited perception. But when I shifted my perception, when I began to see myself as far more than I had ever believed, then my healing powers actually increased, because light grows in positivity, not in negative perceptions. Now, we also judge our past. Our perception of our past can be extremely influential. We look back at our past and we go, wow, how embarrassing that I did that. I perceive myself as being a horrible, gangly teenager. And that image of ourselves can stay with us. We we take that perception of who we were and we bring it into the present and we share it into the future, so that we stop being creative beings. We stop believing in ourselves. We end up blocking the future because of how we perceived our past. Now, this happens all on a day-to-day basis. We block our future. You wake up in the morning and we already have a perception of the day ahead. We go, oh, the night wasn't very good. I didn't sleep very well. It was a terrible night. I bet now that the day is going to be awful. We've already perceived the day ahead. We've already decided how it will be, and it hasn't even happened yet. Or we may think, well, yesterday was an awful and terrible day. Oh God, I bet today's going to be even worse. Constantly projecting a future that has not happened yet. But when we let go of our perception, then the day becomes free to be whatever it needs to be, for us, for our own evolution, to help other people. This truly is the secret of life. It's about letting go of our perceptions, letting go of our judgments, letting go of what it is that we can or can't do, and simply being in each moment and being open to the unlimited nature of life and of ourselves. It's very important to realize in life that there is only you. You don't owe anything to anyone. You don't have to follow anyone else's advice. You don't have to try and live a life that someone else wants for you, nor compete with other people. So start to see life as being just about you and for you. Life is a truly intimate experience for ourselves. It is our journey. So we can let go of other people's expectations, perception and judgments of us. When we do that, when we clear away the importance of someone else's perception of us, then we begin to really become free, because the only person we are in a relationship with is ourselves. Other people's perceptions don't matter. Our perceptions of ourselves don't really matter. When we let all of this go, when we let go of how we've constantly perceived ourselves and how we perceive ourselves now or going forward into the future, that is real freedom. That is the moment we become free to simply experience life as it is. And life becomes more joyful. It becomes easier. We are simply who we are in each moment. And it's in those moments that we truly surprise ourselves about who we are and what we can do. So that was the advice that I wanted to share with you. And I hope that it will help. People say, oh, it sounds so easy. But it is. If we perceive it as difficult, it will become difficult. If we perceive it as easy, this is what it will be. So please take that forward with you and let me know how it goes. So thank you ever so much for joining me here today, and I look forward to sharing more Random Friday wisdom with you. Light blessings. Bye bye.